Create the best fan cave with an NFL Big Game TV frame. Comment below for your chance to win your very own. You must be subscribed to the channel to win. Want yours today? Want to frame a friend? Visit BigGameFrames.com and enter the promo code DeQwan for 20% off your purchase. What's up, guys? I'm DeQwan Young, and this is The Countdown. Now, we've had a lot of off-field distractions happen this season. From the Antonio Brown debacle in Oakland and New England to Jalen Ramsey asking for a trade, to Adam Theilen indirectly calling Kirk Cousins trash. These are the storylines that keep the NFL interesting off the field. Distractions in the locker room can come from terrible play on the field or having to deal with a star player with a big ego. These are the things that often keep teams from gelling and winning a Super Bowl. So today, we ask, what 10 players in the NFL were the biggest distractions? Number 10, Brett Favre. Retired, unretired. Retired, unretired. Retired, unretired. This was the coverage of Brett Favre for multiple seasons in the early to mid 2000s. After he retired in 2008, a couple months later, he asked Mike McCarthy to come back, to which Mike McCarthy said it was out of the question, as the team was ready to move on to Aaron Rodgers. Favre would retire and unretire again for the Jets and Vikings. Number 9, Dominic Sanders. Dominic Sanders is a classic case of an on-field distraction leading to an off-field distraction. In the 2011 season, he stomped on Green Bay Packers player Evan Dietrich Smith. He received a 2-game suspension. A season later, he was fined $30,000 for a kick to the groin on Matt Schaub, which he claims was unintentional. Having to deal with the press conferences and other things surrounding Sue when he suplexed someone was a major distraction, and this is the reason why the Lions never won a Super Bowl. Yeah, we're going with that one, guys. Number 8, Tony Mandarich. The 6'6", 330-pound Big Ten lineman of the year shined at Michigan State. The man Sports Illustrated infamously called the best offensive line prospect ever was supposed to have a stellar career in Green Bay, but his ego ruined all that. Quote, "I am not like other players. I am Tony Mandarich." And they have to understand that. If they don't like it, that's just the way I am, and they're going to learn to like it. End quote. He started his rookie campaign with a holdout that ended 1 week before the regular season. And after 3 years of lackluster play, he was cut in Green Bay. Mandarich is universally known as one of the biggest draft busts of all time. Number 7, Ben Roethlisberger. In 2006, Ben was involved in a motorcycle accident that nearly killed him. Without a valid PA motorcycle license and also without a helmet, Ben suffered fractures to his jaw and right sinus cavity. He actually shattered the windshield of a car with his head. And on 2 separate occasions, Big Ben has been accused of sexual assault. Winning is the key to everything though, because after that Super Bowl victory against the Arizona Cardinals, we never really heard the media talk about those 2 allegations anymore. Number 6, Keyshawn Johnson. In 1996, the New York Jets drafted Keyshawn Johnson number 1 overall. Keyshawn can be credited for the high-profile, diva-like attitude wide receivers of today have. Now don't get it twisted, Keyshawn could ball, and maybe that's why coaches put up with him for so long. After almost leading the Jets to the Super Bowl, Keyshawn, along with ESPN's Shelley Smith, penned the book, "Just Give Me the Damn Ball," detailing his experiences as a rookie when the Jets were 1-15. That was his ticket out of New York and on to Tampa Bay. He won a Super Bowl with the Buccaneers, but after this incident of him and John Gruden arguing on a Monday night, he got deactivated for the rest of the season. He would finish his career with stints in Dallas and Carolina, where he did a little bit of growing up. Number 5, Antonio Brown. The 7-time Pro Bowler was one of the NFL's best wide receivers from 2014 to 2018. With great speed and skill, AB was a quintessential part of the Pittsburgh Steelers' dominant offense that made them Super Bowl contenders throughout much of this decade. With great football skills often come no responsibility though. The end of an era came last year when Antonio Brown ignored team texts and phone calls and didn't show up for the regular season finale. That left Pittsburgh no choice but to move on from their franchise star, dealing Brown to the Oakland Raiders. That debacle in Oakland happened very quickly though, and it was over before his feet unthawed. Brown would go on to sign with the New England Patriots, catch a touchdown pass from Tom Brady, and then be released. Number 4, Randy Moss. There's little doubt that after Jerry Rice, Randy Moss is the greatest wide receiver ever, but you never knew which Randy would show up.
Straight cash, homie.
His career was amazing in Minnesota, but he had a few run-ins with the law. One where he spent a night in jail because of an illegal tournament and a tiny bit of marijuana use. In a Week 17 contest back in the 2004 season, Moss walked off the field while the Minnesota Vikings were performing an onside kick. Moss was traded to the Oakland Raiders in the offseason, where he was unhappy and constantly voiced his unhappiness. Bill Belichick revived Moss's career, though, when he traded for the Pro Bowl wideout in 2007. 3 years later, Moss said he didn't feel appreciated in Foxborough, so he was traded back to the Vikings shortly after. Number 3, Ryan Leaf. If you had your choice, who would you pick? Peyton Manning or Ryan Leaf? In 2019, it's a fairly easy choice. You're obviously going with Peyton Manning. But back in the 1998 draft, it wasn't as unanimous. Leaf was a great prospect out of college, and he was projected to be just as good as Peyton. But it didn't go that well for him, and with that type of hype can bring frustration. In one instance, Leaf screamed at a reporter in the locker room. "Knock it off!" In 1999, Leaf was suspended after getting into a heated argument with the Chargers general manager. While suspended, he was seen playing flag football, and he would be out playing golf while other quarterbacks were watching film. Leaf was out of the NFL 4 years after being drafted. Number 2, Albert Hainsworth. After earning a pair of Pro Bowl and first-team All-Pro nods with the Tennessee Titans, the Washington Redskins gave Hainsworth a 7-year contract worth $100 million. Hainsworth lived up to none of that contract, by the way. He failed conditioning tests and came into camp out of shape. He complained about the team's defensive scheme and defensive coordinator Greg Blatch. The Redskins suspended Hainsworth for the end of the 2010 season. The New England Patriots traded for Hainsworth in the 2011 offseason, but he'd be released in the middle of the season. Hainsworth would be out of the NFL for good the following year. Number 1, Terrell Owens. Team Obliterator was the nickname given to T.O. by Skip Bayless, and it stuck. Now, I would argue that Owens is the second or third best receiver to play the game, but his antics on the sidelines and off the field often caused major distractions in the locker rooms he was in. His time in Philly was spent at odds with his quarterback, Donovan McNabb. He was an exercise machine. He was a constant topic on ESPN. He had sound bites galore. He even got emotional at times. "It's my quarterback." T.O. was a great football player, and as good as he was on the field, he was even more entertaining off of it. We look back on things and wish we had more T.O. than some of the divas on this list, as Team Obliterator was the penultimate prima donna. Don't forget to join us in the comment section below and let us know who are some other distractions in the NFL. Thanks for watching The Countdown. Like and subscribe to our channel for more.